Okay, this game is the most important game of the season. I know I say it every single time, every single preview, I say that this is the most important game, but it is. It is what it is. We cannot be looking back at the past, at our results. We gotta look forward. With that being said, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back for another preview for a very, very, very important game. I mean it this time. It is the second leg of the quarterfinals in the Champions League, one of the biggest competitions in the world, and after many, many years, we are back in the thick of it. We're back in the quarterfinals, and we have one leg in the semifinals. A very, very dangerous statement to make, but I'm gonna make it anyway. We do have a 2-0 advantage going into this game, but that does not mean anything for me right now because Porto are going to be a different side come match day because they're going to have two of their main goal scorers, their top goal scorers, Sergio Oliveira and Taremi, back in the squad for this game. And that's going to make a huge, huge difference. They were already quite dominant in the first leg. I genuinely thought that they were going to score, but against the run of play, we managed to score first and carry that momentum forward. What happens if they score first? Are we able to soak up that pressure, or are we going to succumb to that pressure like we did against West Brom? We're going to have to be very, very pragmatic with the way we move forward and the way the timing of our attacks, the moments we choose to attack. It's got to be very, very decisive, and we've got to be taking our chances. We're not going to get our chances because Porto does have a very, very good defense. Although we breached it twice in the last game, they do have a very, very good defense, and with that in mind, we need to be defensively strong as a rock. If there was any game that cries out for a defensive masterclass, it is this game. This game definitely needs one of those performances where we are absolutely decisive and resolute and strong at the back and clinical with our choices and decisive with our choices. We need all the experience, all the help, because Porto are going to put us in tons of bad situations. And that happened in the first leg. Man, I'm going to say this again. I genuinely thought that we were going to concede that game. Everybody on Twitter was talking about how shaky we looked. Everyone was nervous. The whole Chelsea fan base was nervous in this first 30 minutes till we scored that goal, which was obviously a great goal. Props to Mason Mount, one of the best players this season for Chelsea. But if it wasn't for that goal, if Mason had missed that, I do not think that we would have gone through with the scoreline that we did. So we cannot be going into this game thinking that the battle is won. Porto did turn this game around. They turned the fixture around against Juventus and managed to win that game 3-2 and on away goals. So this is not to be taken lightly, and I do not think that anybody in our team is going to take this lightly. This is going to be a full-on war. I don't know if many of you have watched the Porto manager's press conference, but I watched it, and he stated that multiple times that this team is riling, that they are waiting to get to war. They're coming in with nothing but revenge in their mind, and they're coming in to put in a performance. They're going to be fighting till the last whistle, and we need to be ready for that. And that is why I've gone with the strong lineup. I've gone with a resolute defensive shape, and let's get into the lineups then. Hate when this happens. You can already guess who my goalkeeper is for this match. It's got to be Edouard Mendy, a no-brainer in that position. I don't think we're gonna see Kepa at all this for the rest of the season, honestly. But Mendy obviously leading the race for the Golden Glove in the Champions League. The most amount of clean sheets, 3 clean sheets and 3 knockout fixtures in the Champions League, which is absolutely incredible. And it's not like he hasn't made any saves. He's made some excellent freaking saves. So props to him. He deserves that spot. 100% gets into the team. Let's move on to the defense. The defense, I have gone with a back three of Thiago Silva, Azpilicueta, and Antonio Rudiger. I have gone with a bit more experience in this team in the back because we're going to need it against this very, very tricky Porto team. They're gonna be they've got very very high level, skillful, technical players in this squad, and they're gonna be very very dangerous. We already saw a glimpse of that in the first leg. With their short corners, their combination passes, and their lob passes. Little tricks here and there were catching Chelsea out, and they were surprising the boys. So you can bet your ass you're gonna see more of that from them. Hence, I've gone with a bit more experience in the back, just to be aware and to be cautious and to be one step ahead of these players and one step ahead of these young boys in the squad. So we've got some experienced men in the back. Let's move on to the wing backs. In right wing back, I have gone with none other than Reece James. Reece James gets in the squad, man. He put in a great performance against Porto last week. Obviously, he didn't really play much in the game against Crystal Palace. However, he did come on, and what was the first thing he does? Assisted for the fourth goal in that game, which was an absolute thrashing that game. Yeah, wonderful performance from Chelsea. I don't think there's any argument about who's the best right back in the league right now. I'm sorry, Arnold. I'm sorry, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Whoever else is up there in that debate. Man, this season Reece James takes that trophy off you guys. He's been the best right back in English football this season, hands down. End of discussion. On the left hand side, I've gone with Benjamin Chilwell. He was there for the press conference today, so I'm guessing he's gonna start this game. I think that's maybe a subtle hint that he is gonna start this game, and he should start this game because it took him a while to adapt to this position. First 3 or 4 games he didn't get a start, he didn't get a shout at all from Thomas Tuchel, but like he mentioned, he asked the coach, he went up to the manager, made the initiative to find out where he could improve and how he could improve and how he could help his team, and he's done just that. His game has been improving over games, and I love to see it. Obviously, that great goal last fixture against Porto, it Torres' finish. Just one more goal to add to the many fan theories going around with the parallels between this season and 2012. So let's keep that going. Let's keep the beliefs up. Let's keep the hopes up. We move on to the midfield. The midfield. Now here is where I had a tough time. Obviously, Kante travelled with the squad, but I don't know if he's gonna play. Thomas Tuchel mentioned how careful he needs to be with N'Golo Kante. And given the fact that he's just recovered from injury, I do not think that Kante is going to start this game. It's definitely going to be one of those game management moves from Thomas Tuchel to bring on Kante to solidify the defense and to make sure nothing goes through. And so the partnership I've gone with is the bromance of Jorginho and Kovacic back in the squad. Obviously, great performance last time around against Porto and against Crystal Palace. Jorginho proving yet again how integral his role in this team is, how important of a player, how the pace of the game goes through him. Everything goes through him. He filters out everything. The passes come to him and he decides how we're gonna play this game, how we're gonna set the tempo. Everything is controlled by Jorginho, and everything is controlled by him, but it's executed by Kovacic. Kovacic is one of the driving forces in the squad, one of the leading men to penetrate any team and their defense with his dribbling runs, with his insane passing range, and he's just unpressable. You cannot press him. You can't get the ball off him. So that's gonna be the midfield duo for me. Let's move on to the number 10s. My favorite area of the field, the number 10s. I've gone with the same number 10s that played against Crystal Palace because that game was a sublime attacking performance. It was a sublime attacking performance right from the get-go. We were at it. And the thing is with these two players, they roam around, they move around. No one knows where to catch them, where they're gonna come from. They drop in deep. They make runs beyond players, beyond defenders. So it's gonna be an eyes wide open fest for Porto tomorrow with these two guys playing up front, Christian Pulisic and Mason Mount get in as number 10s in this team. Let's move on to my number 9, or let's say false 9, because the false 9 is going to be none other than King Kai Havertz. King Kai Havertz had a balling game at Crystal Palace. Obviously, only scoring 1 and assisting 1, but he could have had up to 4 or 5 goals. Let's just be honest. He could have had 4 or 5 goals if he was a little more clinical and ruthless, which is what Thomas Tuchel has called him out for. He's called him out for being a little more on the shy side, and he needs to bring in that ruthlessness, that clinicalness into his game. This game definitely shows symptoms for a Kai Havertz masterclass, with the amount of space that he can find in just moments of time, and his gracefulness across that entire front line of the pitch against it's just beautiful to watch. It's so he's allowed that freedom right now in this role. He's allowed that freedom to move around and to find spaces and find pockets where he can exploit teams, and I think that's going to be key against this Porto team. Obviously, it's going to come up against very, very tough defenders in the form of Pepe and Mbemba. But I think this game against Crystal Palace last time on the weekend is going to definitely boost that confidence. It's definitely going to be a big boost in confidence for him. I'm excited for this game. Also kind of nervous. I'm very nervous, actually. I gotta be honest. I'm quite nervous because of the pedigree of this Porto team. Yeah, they're a fighting side. They're a fighting side, and that's the pedigree of the club. It's been that club. They've been underdogs for the longest time, and I think when you are placed in that underdog bracket, you carry with yourself that pride and that ability to turn and change games, and that's all we can expect from Porto tomorrow. That's all we can expect, because they are going to come out guns blazing with nothing but revenge on their mind. So we need to be ready, and I do hope we are. I think we are. The team looks good. I think this lineup is very, very potent, and it's got the ability to wreak havoc on this team, definitely. So, score predictions for this game. I think it's gonna be a 2-1 win to Chelsea. 2-1. Gonna go with that. Kai Havertz and Pulisic to score. Let's see, and I'll see you guys in the next one.